The Fancounters Celebrity Podcast, number 168. Coming to you from nowhere near the entertainment capital of the world, this is the Fancounters Celebrity Podcast.
You were like the carrot top of interviewers.
Wow, how disappointing was that question?
You did not just ask me that.
Well, that's a big question.
Never mind, I'm done. I'm not doing the show.
Wow, I can't believe it.
I'm telling you, I'm hooked.
Nick.
Yeah, he's still awesome. He's still a good friend of mine.
Welcome to the Fancounters Celebrity Podcast. My name's Nick.
And I'm Tracy.
Follow us on social media. Go to Instagram and go to @FanCountersLive. If you're looking to find us on Facebook, it's a simple search for Fancounters. And if you'd like to email us, if you want a guest on the show and you want to be a part of it, we're starting to do these things on Zoom now and putting them on our video podcast on YouTube. So if you want to be part of our Zoom meeting with a celebrity that you want on the show, we can do it. Send their name to hello@fancounters.com. And if we get them on the show, you can be on the show.
I like that idea.
It's a celebrity meet and greet right here.
So does that mean if I get somebody on the show, I can be on the show?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'll bring you back.
Oh, okay, cool.
I'll think about it. I had a lot of things to chat about today because I have found some new products that I'm not sure if I like or not like.
Oh, really? What are they?
Coca-Cola's got a new product out, and it's Coke with coffee.
Wait, isn't caffeine already in Coke?
Yeah, but it's coffee-flavored Coca-Cola. Like cherry Coke, this is coffee-flavored.
Interesting.
And they have vanilla or regular roast. As you can see on YouTube, I'm bringing out my laptop.
Wow.
Yeah, and I tried them both. Now, the Columbia flavored one, or I think that's the regular coffee one, that's not as good as the vanilla, but it kind of almost just tastes like vanilla Coke with a little shot of espresso.
Okay.
It was weird.
That's kind of weird.
It was, but I can endorse the product because I didn't hate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have to... the new product that I've been drinking has been Zero.
Which one?
Mountain Dew Zero and the Pepsi Cherry Zero.
Yeah. The Mountain Dew Zero almost tastes like the regular one.
It sure does.
The consistency is different.
Yeah.
I think the sugar makes it thicker.
Yep. You can notice the difference just a little bit in the taste, but barely.
Yeah.
So.
Well, we're all trying to go into this Lenten season of trying to make ourselves better. And
what are you giving up for Lent?
Well, you know what? We had a long discussion about Lent, and we don't have to give up anything because it's about what you are giving. You have to. You can give more of yourself, and you can do more for others, and put yourself out there, and that kind of thing. So we're trying to do more for other people.
You mean more than we already do already?
We do a lot, but we could do more.
Yeah.
So we're trying to do more and think about others, and maybe, instead of going out to dinner, where can we put this $40? Who would benefit from that?
You could send it to my house.
If you want us, we want you to be a part of our Lenten journey, and you can send us your donation to support the podcast. We would do that. We're always buying new subscriptions to Zoom and StreamYard and all this stuff that's sucking money out of.
Just trying to get
I didn't want to go this direction.
Just trying to get it zoomed in. Get it? Zoom.
Zoomed in. Our guest today was trying to join us via Zoom, and the audio completely went.
Yeah.
Didn't work.
But we made it work.
We did. We went back to Skype. Good old trusty Skype, which I wasn't sure if anybody's still using Skype anymore.
I very, very, very rarely use Skype. I'm more Zoom and Microsoft Teams at my day job.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's an option, too. So I listen to a lot of podcasts featuring our guests because I don't like to hear the same stories told over and over, because if you want to hear that story, go to that podcast, So I was trying to find those follow-up questions. And in doing that, I heard a lot of podcasts that are driving me crazy because they are still lecturing their listeners about COVID.
The good old pandemic.
It is not going away, and I get that. But you know what? I don't need to keep being told to wear a mask. Yep. I don't need billboards in my neighborhood telling me to wear a mask. I get it.
Or stay home. Don't go out to restaurants. I still get that.
Yeah, and just the make sure you do this it's the whole telling me what to do. Like, it's been going on for a year. We get it. We're being safe. I'm following CDC guidelines, except because you can't see our invisible barrier here.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's okay. We don't have COVID.
but they're terrible podcasts. Some of these too that are having these same guests on, and I'm thinking, what is the guest thinking? And I probably should have asked Artie because he's been on some doozies.
Oh, yeah.
Where I'm like, how did we compare to the other shows you've been on? I should have asked him that. I didn't. Anyway, Artie Hoffman is our guest today, and Artie is a psychic medium, and he's going to tell us some shocking things about our lives today.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, and we'll talk about those revelations after the interview. So thanks for listening to us ramble. We're done, and this is Artie Hoffman. Artie Hoffman, welcome to the Fancounters Celebrity Podcast. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing really good. I feel really good.
Excellent. Now, I'm really glad that we get a chance to chat. You've been a spiritual advisor for over 2 decades, which is kind of crazy.
Actually, 3.
3 decades now.
Ooh.
3
Wow.
decades now.
You've helped thousands of people, which must make you really feel at peace because, you know, your life's work has value. What you were put here to do, you're doing. What's funny about this, though, is your whole career in this area of a spiritual advisor came because of a flyer that was mailed to you. And that was the divine intervention that you kind of needed to get rolling. Tell me a little bit about like why you felt compelled that this came to you and that you should do it.
No, I wasn't feeling that I was compelled. I didn't even look at it like it was the answer to my prayers. I was when I was around 27 years old, I had everything going for me. Good business, marriage, house, car, vacation, families were getting along great. Everything was fine, and I had lots of friends. But yet I still felt unfulfilled. I just wasn't happy overall. Not that I wasn't happy with what I had. I was happy with that, but I knew that there was more to me than just what was. So I was very, very frustrated, to say the least. So I'm having a little conversation with God in my basement. I had a finished basement. And I looked up at the ceiling and said, God, I need answers. I need clear answers. I said, please don't scare the hell out of me when you give me the answers.
Yeah.
So anyway, after having that little discussion with the man upstairs, I go upstairs to where my kitchen is, and I'm going through my junk mail. And I usually just throw it right out. But for some reason, I was sifting through it. And there was a postcard there, and it said, how would you like to develop your psychic abilities and intuitiveness? Come to the Edgar Casey Foundation for this 1 weekend seminar. And I looked at it. I said, wow, I didn't know you could learn how to do this. I thought either you had it or you didn't. So my wife was standing there. I said, hon, this looks pretty interesting. I said, want to give it a shot? She goes, I don't give a crap about that. She goes, you can go if you want. I'm not interested. So anyway, out of curiosity, like I said, I wasn't looking at it like, oh my God, my prayers have been answered, because I never thought for an ounce that I would ever be trying to do this or whatever. I've gotten readings before, and people even said, Art, you could do with what I do. You have the gift also. I said, yeah. Just tell me about my love life and my business life. That's all I care about. Don't tell me that I have the gift. I can't see crap. You kidding me? So anyway, I went away for that 1 weekend seminar in Virginia Beach at the Edgar Casey Foundation. And there was a very large room there. And there's 50 of us from all different parts of the country who was a part of this meeting. So the gentleman who was teaching the class, and, he was speaking beautiful words of spirituality, and they had this beautiful celestial music, this Zen music going, get you in that meditated zoom, that meditated euphoria type of mind. Mm-hmm. And so after that, he broke us up into groups, and he says, all right, whatever you get with the other person, just share your thoughts. He says, don't worry if you don't understand what you're saying or they don't understand. Just still share your thoughts. Don't worry about it. So people were telling me how accurate I was. And I was like kind of blown out of the water that I was capable of reading people I'd never met before.
Right.
I said, wow. I was like shocked, to say the least. So any case, I went home after that weekend seminar. And I got myself a deck of spiritual cards, not tarot cards. It was a different type of spiritual cards. And I was reading for friends and family just for the fun of it for the next few years. And people were telling me how accurate I was. And I said, really? And I just got blown away every time. I felt like I was just blowing smoke up at people's ass. And I was just creating these little kid stories. Like, honest, I see this is happening and stuff. So, so here I am, telling people stuff. And then when people came back to me, I said, oh, my God. They're telling me like these stories as if, they're talking about someone else, not about me. Like I'm the one who predicted this. I'm just saying stuff at the top of my head, just praying like hell that something would come right. But most of the things, just about all the things that I said, came to fruition. So I got to a point after doing this for 3 years. I got to a point in my life where all of a sudden it's like I needed extra money because of investment purposes. I needed some fast cash quick. So I said, what can I do to make this happen? So I'm sitting on the couch and I said, you know what? I know how to do readings. So I threw an ad in the paper and it said, if I don't pull through, no charge. Because I didn't want people to think that I was taking advantage of them or that I was trying to rip them off. And I was asking for a decent amount of money. I mean, I make more money now before when I did 27 years ago per se. But back then I'm like, I felt like kind of weird. But then I said, you know what? If I don't pull through, no charge. And 90% of the people paid me. So with that, through recommendations and a little more advertising, 3 decades later, 32,000 people later, I've been on a lot of major radio stations. I've been on TV. I performed at casinos. I traveled all around the country to do parties. I call them Artie parties. I read for people individually, privately, whether it be in person in New Jersey. I'm in Central Jersey, so it's like I read for people individually, or by phone, Skype, FaceTime, So, and it's pretty cool, And so, my biggest blessing with all this is that I help heal a lot of people's hearts. I give people back their confidence. I give them back their power. I give them understanding. When you have understanding about any situation you're dealing with, when you have understanding about your own feelings and your own emotions, that's power. Knowledge is power. Yeah. Power is confidence. Oh, yeah. And so I help out a lot of people to make a lot of healthy decisions in their life. It doesn't mean that they're going to follow through on it, but at least I give them the right advice. I don't follow through on people. And my memory sucks, so don't ask me all party.
What did you say?
What did you say? The only reason why I remember a lot of cool stories is because after I was in a conscious state of mind, because like when I'm reading people, I'm in a weird state of mind. I'm in a spiritual state of mind. So I'm in a different zone. But once I'm out of it, it's like I don't remember what I say to people. I don't. And then my memory sucks. It really does. But the only time I'll remember stuff is when people come back to me after the fact, say, hey, Art, you said this, you said that happened, this happened. I go, wow, 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 wow. To this day, I go, wow, 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 wow. So it's just so cool, So I am blessed to have this gift, but you know what? I had a desire for it. It wouldn't have come to me had I have not seeked for it, but I was seeking for my happiness. I wasn't seeking to become a psychic. And the crazy thing is, I always wanted to be a therapist growing up. And I didn't have the patience or the scholastic, like I sucked at school. A very well-liked person with my peers and with teachers and all. But, as far as school itself, I sucked at it. So, I got, regular 2-bit jobs here and there. And then I ended up owning my own business. I owned a window cleaning power washing business called Peeping Tom's Window Cleaning.
I like that.
That's nice.
And I still own it. I got people who work for me and it kind of runs itself now. So, so it's pretty good situation. And plus I do this, spiritual healing and all these readings. I do this full time. So like I said, it's a very big blessing for me to be put in this position. And, even though my license plate says I just know, the reality is I don't know anything until God and the angels and the spirit guides start feeding me all this information. And then I share it with my clients or I get the information from their loved ones who passed away.
Oh, okay.
Were there people that I've always wanted to ask. I've heard you talk so many times. Were there people at this seminar that didn't have a gift?
Well, I didn't have the gift going into it.
So
I would say half the people were already kind of intuitive, and they just wanted to enhance what they already had.
Uh-huh.
And I'd say the other half of the people sucked like I did, who didn't know how to spit. But let me tell you something. When I left that seminar, I had a lot of spit.
Huh.
Wow.
So you're like anybody who really wants to like get connected.
If you want to.
Really?
If you have a desire to, you want to, you could do it. There are people who I've read for who I know for a fact have the gift, but they have not practiced it because they're afraid of it. Like they've had experiences, and because they were afraid of it, they just literally blocked it out and told God or the angels, "Say, I don't want the gift. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Just leave me alone."
I actually know
So
somebody like
therefore,
that.
they don't have the gift because they don't want to deal with it. Another reason why people won't go with the gift is because they're afraid. Well, what if I'm wrong? What if I tell people bad information? Or people have a hard time charging people for their services. But mostly they're afraid of, I'm afraid of being wrong. So what I tell everybody, suppose you do have a premonition or you have a gift or whatever it is, whatever you want to call it, psychic ability or whatever, and people are afraid to call themselves psychic or whatever. So what I say to people under those circumstances is, if you want to share information that you see something before it's going to happen, don't tell them that you had a psychic vision. Tell them, you know what? I had a dream about you. And my dream was yada, yada, yada. So either they're going to come back to you and say, oh, wow, you were right about that. Your dream was on. But if for some reason you were off, they would say, no, it wasn't it. Well, it was just a dream. It's no big deal.
Right. That's a good way to do that. Because I know somebody who's afraid of, I think they have the gift and they're afraid of it.
Yeah, so you just tell people you got it in a dream, that you see stuff in your dreams. And there are people who literally will see stuff in their dreams before they happen. It's not me. I'm not the one who does it. I don't see things before they happen. I mean, I will. Once in a blue moon, I will. I can't say it. Once in a blue moon, I will. But on the most part, no, I don't. I don't remember my dreams. I'm too tired. I sleep right through it.
Okay, along with being able to be booked for corporate events, seminars, and even house parties, you do host a Facebook Live every Sunday at 6 p.m. Eastern in a program.
8 p.m. Eastern.
Oh, 8 p.m. Okay.
It's my bad research again.
Oh, Nick.
8 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, on Angels and Answers Facebook Live show. And I read people for free for that 1 hour every Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time. And so other than just giving information, I also try to make it humorous. So I'm like Teresa Caputo. You ever hear of Teresa Caputo?
Yeah, the Long Island medium. Yeah, I've seen her show.
So I'm like Teresa Caputo and Billy Crystal mixed up in one.
I like that.
Nice. So my question about that is, do you find you are more effective when being face-to-face with a person, or can you be just as effective over the phone or video connection?
Yeah, it makes no difference to me. I could connect no matter what, because it's not about the physical world. It's all about connecting spirit to spirit.
Okay.
So an example, if you wanted to find out about one of your siblings or one of your friends or a lover or whoever, whatever, you just have to mention their name and the circumstance, and all of a sudden I start getting the image. I start getting the messages. So it has nothing to do with, a lot of people ask me that question, Artie, should I come in person or is it over the phone, or where are you more effective and stuff? So it makes no difference to me. I'm effective, however, whatever, and I'm just as accurate, or I suck just as much.
Well, I mean, there are people out there that maybe would be very skeptical about this ability, or the ability to help people connect with their loved ones and that kind of thing. How do you address the skeptics? I'm sure they've come up to you and said, is this for real? I'm not really sure. How do you address people like that?
You know what? Being raised in a Jewish family, my family had a hard time accepting the fact that I do what I do. Mm-hmm. It took them a while. The only time I was accepted by my family, I won't say accepted, I'll say appreciated the fact that I did what I did, is when they heard me on some major media programs, on radio stations and TV. And once they saw me there, it's like, oh, Artie must have something, So as far as skeptics, it's like, that doesn't bother me 1 ounce. It's like, some people will deny what I'm telling them because they don't like to hear what I have to say. And I said, look, I'm not looking for your approval. I'm just telling you my gut feelings, my gut instincts. And then, and that's that. So like I was telling you before, I always wanted to become a therapist.
Yeah.
So people call me their psychic therapist.
Okay.
Because I'm probably one of the best therapists you'll ever come across. And I know I sound cocky at what I just said, but it's more of a confidence. I'm not a better person than anybody because I have the gift. I'm not saying that at all, but because I'm able to see things before they happen. So I'm able to reach into people's emotions, and I'm able to put words into people's emotions. So a lot of people have these weird feelings. They don't know what to do with it or how to recognize with it. So that's one of my gifts also, is being able to feel your feelings and then put words to it so your life makes more sense to you. So, and the really cool thing is, I wrote a book called Angels and Answers, and it explains a lot about life. And you'll think that I wrote that book just for you because you're going to have a lot of aha moments. I discuss a lot of deep topics, deep subjects about life, about God, about relationships, about yourself. And you're literally going to think that I wrote that book just for you. And I have a second book that's coming out hopefully within the next couple of weeks. My first book is called Angels and Answers, and my second book is called Have Your Angels Call My Angels.
Oh, that's
I like
awesome.
that.
I like that title.
I like that. That's a cool title.
Yeah, and that one's mostly about relationships and relationship with yourself and relationships with other people. And so the really cool thing is I never went to college. I mean, in my book, it says I went to the University of Boston in Maryland for 2 years, but that was just to visit my friends.
I wonder if I could get away with that.
You might be able to because you've been in enough
Been
places.
So I would probably say the biggest compliment that I have is I have therapists who come to see me, and I have other psychics who come to see me for answers and stuff. So I feel very complimented. And like I said, it's very rewarding. And, these therapists who come, let me tell you something. Even though I can do what I do, I'm lost in my own world. I'm lost in my own shit when it comes to me reading me. I can't because I'm emotionally connected to the outcome. So I don't know if it's the spiritual world talking to me or my emotions talking. I don't know. So,
can you do readings on non-believers or people with closed minds?
Yeah. Well, put it this way: the only type of people I can closed mind, no, because they're closed-minded. Non-believers, skeptics, yes, they're easy to hit. But if you're a non-believer, meaning closed minds, like, you have your arm folded or, go ahead, try to read me. All right. So really, you don't want me to read you because you're saying, go ahead, try to read me. Now, if you're really bitter or angry in life, really bitter and angry, your energy is blocking. Okay. So, if you're jealous of what I do or you're another psycho and you say, go ahead, try to read me. So you're putting a subconscious wall there because you're making it difficult. If there are people who have super, super, super high expectations, then no, because you're it's almost like you're trying to control. I want to hear what I want to hear in the way I want to hear it and only what I want to hear. It's like, it doesn't work like that. I'll share with you information that just naturally comes to me. So I'll give you a lot of times of what you need, not always what you want to hear, but I will always give you what you need. But I do give people a lot of information about what they do want to hear, but also be prepared for the truth. So if you're asking me a deep question, then yeah, I'm going to tell you the truth. But if you're not ready for the answer, in case it is crappy news, then, do you want me to really tell you the truth? It could be the best news you want to hear, but then maybe not. But so when some people ask me some deep questions, like I know they're afraid to hear the outcome, I said, do you really want to know that answer? And then some people say, no, I don't want to know. I said, all right. And then other people say, yeah, I want to know no matter what. Because some people, I'll give you an example. If people are in a relationship, they say, is my spouse cheating on me? Or will my relationship last? Or they have a plush, beautiful, wonderful life, and they don't want to hear like, oh, you better watch out for this and watch out for that.
Yeah.
So people don't want to, when they, in their conscious physical world mind, they just want to see or know that everything's still going to be okay. And I can very well tell them that, but then who knows? Maybe it might not, but I don't know. But for people who are stuck in their life emotionally, I definitely help unstuck an awful lot of people, emotionally, business, financial, emotional, love life, medical, legal, you name it, with pets. There are no limitations to the spiritual world. The spiritual world could break all the laws of physics. So whatever limitations there are in the physical world, the spiritual world could undo or recreate in a heartbeat, as if the physical world didn't exist. The spiritual world could just make things better. What I mean by that is that there are thousands and thousands of testimonials where people had stage 4 cancer or a really bad disease, and through spirituality and through prayer, all of a sudden the cancer's out of their body or the disease is out of their body. And it's like, because of prayer. When you live in the physical world and you're not a believer of God or the spiritual world, in their world, seeing is believing.
Sure, yeah.
But in the spiritual world, when you believe in God, you believe in the angels, when you start to believe, then you'll start to see.
And you are a God believer.
Oh, yeah, I believe in God and I believe in angels. Yeah, that's where I get all my messages from. So there are a lot of people who think that, because I do what I do, that, I do the devil's work, or it's negative, or the Bible says this, or it's against my religion. It's not. It's not against anything. And it might be against your religion, but it's not against God.
Mm-hmm.
God's the one who gave me this beautiful gift to help out all his other children, all the other people. So whether I physically help them, emotionally help them, spiritually help them, so if you're telling me that I do the devil's work, then I have to shake his hand and thank him for all the good help he's helped me with to help heal a lot of people.
Sure. So praying,
as Nipsey, I don't know if you know Nipsey Russell. Do you remember the old comedian Nipsey Russell?
I do. Yep, I do.
The devil made me do it.
Yep.
So things like praying to saints, that's a real thing. That's something helpful.
Yeah, if you want to pray to saints, pray to angels, pray to, in the Jewish religion, we cut out the middleman, we just go direct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly.
I like that.
Yeah, as a Catholic, we go through a lot of different people to get to the big guy. So
Yes.
A lot of saints, and and as far as, when it comes to people saying, the church says, you have to repent for your sins, you should be going to confession. Confession doesn't mean anything if you don't mean it.
yeah,
Just because you say the words, if you're going to go right back to doing what you did, just because you think you cleared the slate, because you confess to a father, confess to God or whoever, if you're not really willing to make changes, then you're not remorseful of whatever it is you did.
I tell that to my kids all the time when they're fighting or they apologize. I'm so sorry, Dad. Well, then if you're really sorry, you won't do it again.
And do they not do it again?
No, of course they do it 2 seconds later. That's the problem.
My father would always say to me, if I told you once, I told you 1,000 times.
Right.
And I would say to him, well, then why didn't you just stop after one time?
Save some time.
Exactly.
Dad, you're giving us both a headache. Cut the crap.
Have you gotten any random messages where it surprised you? Or maybe you're like, I'm really not going to tell this person what what popped in my mind.
No, I tell everybody what pops in my mind. Am I surprised? I'm surprised at everything I tell people. I take nothing for granted. Nothing. Like when I go into a reading or when I'm doing a party, my parties, I call them Artie parties.
Yeah.
So when I go into a party or when I go to a reading or even when I speak in front of a group of people, I never know what I'm going to say until the moment happens. The spiritual world will just start feeding me information and then I just go with it, But like I said, just because I do what I do, I'm not better than anybody else. I'm just somebody who had a passion that after I found out that I could do what I do, I kind of ran with it and very grateful for it. And so God gave me a blessing and I'm able to make a living at it. So one of my friends was joking with me. He goes, "Hey, Artie," he goes, "So tell me, why do you make it your business to talk to dead people for a living?" I said, "Because they pay more."
So can you kind of explain to us, like when somebody comes to you for a reading, can you explain to us how you approach it and how it works and like kind of certain information that you need from a person, or how does it work?
Basically, how I learned to read people is like I hold on to their jewelry, or their wallet, or their keys, and then I run like hell.
I knew you were going to go there with that. Once you said wallet, I was like,
I hold on to I do. I hold on to their possessions, and I automatically start getting things about them. I just get random stuff. It's amazing, and I blank out my mind when I do it, and then whatever random thoughts come to me, I start telling them about whatever's. And a lot of it's deep stuff. Other stuff is surface. Now what I do, I don't hold on to people's things. I hold their hand, and then by holding their hand, I'll just start getting stuff right away. And it's funny. Like when I go to a restaurant, if the waiter or waitress has a fun, playful personality, and I'll say to them, I said, "Let me hold your hand." They go, "Why?" "Let me just hold your hand for a second." And I close my eyes, and they'll look at my girlfriend. Well, who was my girlfriend at the time? They go, "Is he a psychic?" And she goes, "Yeah." And so all of a sudden, I'll just open my eyes and I give them stuff. And they go, "Oh my God, how did you know that?" So it's pretty crazy. So I screw with people sometimes, and I have fun with it and stuff. So it's pretty cool. It was funny. I had this one lady say to me, she was pregnant. And a lot of girls, when they're pregnant, they say, "Artie, what do you think I'm going to have?" They already know what they're going to have, but they just want to see if I'm right or wrong. And most of the times I'm right. All right. So I put my hand. So the girl said to me, "Artie, what do you think I'm having?" Mm-hmm. So I put my hand on her stomach, and I said, "I'm getting a female energy. I feel like it's a girl." She goes, "No, it's a boy." I said, "Well, then he's gay."
Well,
so
there's more than one way to be right.
I mean, granted, she laughed. I was just joking around with her. But, and then it's funny when I do my Facebook Live show and, girls will say, "Hey, Artie, when do you see me getting pregnant?" I go, "When you stop watching my show and get in the bedroom." I go, "Your odds go way up."
Very true.
So, but, like I said, I have fun with it, and I give people, really strong advice. But that's how I do it. So what I do, so to give you an idea of what it's like for me to read people, can you picture right now in your mind what your bedroom looks like?
Yep.
All right. So that image you have of your bedroom or your kitchen, of what it looks like, that's how I see. So when I'm with somebody and I blank my mind, all of a sudden I'll start getting images just like you could see your bedroom or your kitchen. It's like that clear. Can you hear the sound of the voice of your parents? Can you recall what they would sound like? Your mother or your father?
Absolutely. Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So there are times where I'm sitting there and I'll start hearing voices in my head, just like you could hear the sound of your mother or your father's voice or your best friend. You know who they are by the sound of their voice. So I'll hear voices in my head. And then you'll see videos in your head. Like right now, the thought of you getting ready for today's show, the video you had when you woke up this morning, or your last vacation, the video you had when you were in, Florida or California, whatever. So you have this video in your head.
Yeah.
So I get videos in my head. And then there are times where I'll hear songs in my head. Whatever the song is about, then that's what's going on with the person.
You've got a great
story. Whatever that song is about.
You got a great story about a woman who, it was the Highway to Hell song that you had heard in your head with this woman who was, I guess, troubled or something. And you I don't know if you said be careful or whatever, and then she didn't, and she ended up in jail. Those stories have to touch you a lot, especially because she found you after she got out and said, "I've been thinking about you every day."
With that one. So she walked into my place, and again, I don't remember who I read. She walked into my place, this lady who I did not recognize at all, and she says, "Art, I've been thinking about you every day for 2 years." And I said, "Oh," I said, "Well, all right, I'm flattered, but okay, why are you thinking of me every day for 2 years?"
Yeah.
She goes, "You did a reading for me right here in your place, in your apartment. And the first thing you did when you held my hand, you started singing the AC/DC song. You started singing the song, 'Highway to Hell. I'm going to highway to hell.' And you looked at me and you said, if I don't stop doing what I'm doing, I'm going to get caught real soon. And I'm going to end up probably going to jail if I don't stop doing what I'm doing." And she said, a week later, I got caught at doing something I should not have been doing. Right after you read me, you told me I stop doing it, otherwise I'm going to get caught. And I didn't listen to you. And a week later, I got caught at doing something I shouldn't be doing. And I got thrown in jail for 2 years. And every day when I woke up in the cell, I said to myself, why didn't I listen to Artie? Why didn't I listen to Artie?
And every
Wow.
time that song comes on the radio, she probably remembers the course she's supposed to be on.
Does.
Yeah.
I'm sure she does. She probably turns the channel. I know I would turn the channel if I wouldn't go singing and dancing to that sucker.
On Fan Counters, we always ask people about like their favorite encounters with fans or people that they've, encountered that leave a mark in their memory. And I know that that's one story. Do you have anybody else, maybe even somebody who was a little unstable, or like, do you have any memories of people coming back to you after and what that was like for you, how you felt?
So there's a difference. You just said two separate things. You said, what is it like for me to meet fans? And then what is it like for people to come back after I did a reading?
Well, maybe
for them?
those are your fans. I'm not quite sure how.
Oh, so all right. So clients. All right. I got you.
Yeah. Just what your
All
encounters are like with people who admire you.
Yeah. Humbled, because when people are telling me, hey, Art, you were right about this, or you're right about that, or you said this, you said that. I never look at it like, oh, I'm the one who told them, or, oh, yeah, I'm good. No, I'm just flattered that I was in a position to listen to the beautiful messages from God or from the angels, that they gave me this solid information, and that they trusted me enough to deliver this information, or those people trusted me enough to give them the information, to hire me, and I give them this information. It's extremely humbling. That's what it's like for me. I am happy that they're happy.
Cool.
And so that's what makes me happy. It's extremely rewarding. It's great to make a living at it, but it's very rewarding when you're making a strong impact in people's lives for the better. And it's funny, the people who are all around me, I could help out the whole world. When it comes to myself, or the people that are closest to me, I can't help them out. They're too close to me.
Really?
Or I can't help out myself. Well, I can in some ways. I can read myself a little bit, but yeah. So I go to other friends that are psychic or mediums, and they'll give me answers that I'm looking for, or get clarity.
Okay.
I just won't tell people what they want to hear just to make them happy. So the funny thing is, my father always had a hard time believing. It's like he believed, but he had a hard time believing the fact that I did it, only because, again, he heard me on the radio. And so he was reading his newspaper, and I was visiting him and my mom at the time when they were alive. And I'm sitting on the couch watching TV, and he's sitting, it's an L-shaped couch. He's sitting on the other end, and he's reading the newspaper. And all of a sudden, out of left field, he just puts the newspaper down. He looks at me, he goes, Arthur, he goes, can you really communicate to dead people? Can you really tell people what's going on in their life? Or are you just full of shit and you just tell them what they want to hear? And I looked at him, and I started to laugh, because it came from my father. It just made me laugh. And I said, Dad, I looked right at him. I said, I'm as real as professional wrestling. I'm the real deal.
Oh, that's a good one. So, Artie,
of course I'm real, because otherwise I would not have been able to read as many people as I read. Of course I'm the real deal. I wouldn't be doing it for 32 years. I wouldn't have been able to make a living and doing all what I do. So the proof is in the pudding. So when people say, well, Artie, how do I know you're real? Tell me something. And it's like, well, look at my testimonials. Look at my website. I don't have to prove anything to anybody.
Right.
Exactly.
So hold on a second. So what I'm getting with you right now is that you're going to be in a position where you're going to see somebody in a really bad accident, and you're going to be in a position to call somebody to get help to them, or you're going to go to the car and you're going to be doing something to help them out. But this car is going to be so mangled up that there's going to need to be a buzzsaw to get these people out. To cut open the car, because I just heard the jaws of death, or the lock of jaws, or whatnot, to open up a car or something, that they need special help. And either you're going right by an accident, it's already happened, or you're going to be the one to make sure that somebody gets help. But that's why it's not you, but it's you.
Me?
No, the other one.
Nick?
Me? Oh, man.
Yeah.
You.
The
Wow.
other guy.
Yikes.
Okay.
I guess I will be on the lookout.
Exactly.
Wow. And you felt that really strong.
Yeah, well, I see that when I look at you. As far as, let's see, let me read you now. Let me read you now and see just what I might get from you. I don't know. I'm seeing Hawaiian naked women. No, I'm like,
He wishes.
Yeah.
yeah. Oh, no, that was a dream he just had. That's right.
That's what he's thinking about now? Oh, great. Makes us feel
I'm reading
real
his
good.
mind. I'm reading his mind. That's it. You're the type of person who does try to give a lot of good sound advice. There's somebody who tries to jump ahead of themselves, and you're giving somebody advice. I don't know if it's your child or if there's somebody else within the business, and it's like you're trying to put the cart before the horse. You're always trying to put the cart, but you're always trying to move ahead faster. Why don't you just do this and this and this, and then everything will fall into place? Like, I see you being the type of person that gives logical advice to people, and you're able to do that. And but there's somebody specific who's very close to you, and they're just trying to bite off too much too soon. And this is something that you clearly see with them, and you're saying, why don't you just slow down? You're expecting way too much for doing too little, and it's like there's no shortcut to wisdom. There's no shortcut to experience. You have to go through the process. And I see you like trying to give good sound advice. I mean, what I'm saying to this is good advice for anybody, but I see you specifically, being in a conversation with somebody who's, it's like I jump around, I'm doing this, I'm doing that, I'm doing it. It's like, why don't you just put everything into perspective? And like, I just see you giving like good, wholesome sound advice to people or to somebody very specific that either it just happened or it's going to happen soon. Can you relate to this at all or not yet?
Absolutely.
I already know he can.
Yeah,
when you were saying it.
You know who it is too.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
So what I tell people, like when I'm giving advice like that, I always tell people, listen to the Billy Joel song, Vienna.
Oh,
I've heard
okay.
it, but
Okay.
You know that song?
Yeah.
Slow down, you crazy child.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
You're so ambitious for a juvenile.
Yeah.
If you're so smart, then why are you still so afraid? It's like a young person or a young kid or somebody who's green in the field, and they think they know a lot and they want to accomplish a lot, but they keep on screwing up along the way and say, why don't you slow down and just learn something? It was funny. I saw a bumper sticker and it said, hire a teenager while they still know everything.
Isn't that true,
We've all
though?
felt like
Oh, my
that.
gosh. Yeah, that is so true.
And I just created a post just the other day. I don't know when it's going to come up, but, I do an Instagram post every single morning, and I send it off to my assistant. I sent so many posts to her, I don't even know when she's going to post up certain posts. But what I just sent to her was, the less you know, the more you think you know. And the more you know, the more you realize you don't know.
Yeah.
That's definitely true. That is definitely true.
I have a quote from you that touched me to my heart, and you said that it was something where you were trying to define religion and spirituality, where you said religion is about other people's experiences, but true spirituality is about your own personal experience. And that kind of hit me because, I work at a Catholic school, so obviously religion is a huge part of what we do at the school. And but really, it's the personal connection is what it's the root word spirit, right? So we're connecting our souls and our lives with God. And I thought that was pretty profound. Made me think about it in a whole new way.
Well, I have to give credit when credit is due. I got that quote because it was so beautiful. I got that quote from Deepak Chopra.
Oh, really?
Oh, wow.
Who was a very spiritual person, who's ultra spiritual. And it was actually, when he said that, I thought that was very profound. I think I read it was something from his, so I kind of took it and I shared it. So, yeah, that was, I can't take credit for that, but yeah, that's awesome. religion is other people's experiences and spirituality is your own experience.
Artie, when people come to you for a psychic reading or communicating with a loved one that's passed away, what's the reason that they give you for coming to you for it?
Their heart is hurting. Their heart is breaking.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a simple answer. It's a simple answer. That's why they come to me. When they're hurting in relationships, their heart's hurting. When they lose somebody dear to them, their heart is hurting. About business, about money, they're frustrated. It's a different type of hurt.
Right.
Trying to figure out the direction of your life. Again, it's confusion. So I unconfuse it because I see, I get people, their young kids will say, what college should I go to, or which career should I go to, or people will say, which job should I be sticking with, or which career should I be sticking with, or whatever, or should I stay or should I go? Should I stay or should I go now?
That's pretty cool though, because I've heard from people, and I've even said, in the past, hey, I wish I could go back and I could ask Grandpa this again, because that's as growing up, my grandfather was always the person we always called to answer questions, and he passed away in the early '90s, and even to this day, I go, oh man, if Grandpa was still alive, he'd know that answer for me, So I can totally get that from what you're saying, from what people come to you for.
Yeah, you're going to start noticing dimes and pennies all over the place from him, and that's going to be his hello to you, especially dimes. You're going to be finding them in the weirdest places. So when you do, just say, hey, Dad. It's like, how did this penny or dime get here underneath the pillow? Or how did, it's just like, there's like a lot of things are no rhyme or reason. Literally, as God is my holy witness, I'm at the counter. I'm like at a 7-Eleven type of store. And I went to purchase like I don't know, a soda, and the person was busy behind the counter, so I had my hands on the counter, and as God is my witness, and there was nobody behind me. I was the only person physically there. A penny literally went flying over my forearm, over my arm by my hand, and landed right on the counter, like somebody just threw it right over there. And I looked back, there was nobody there. And a penny just came out of thin air and just landed right in front of me, over my arm onto the counter. That was a blow me away type of moment.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd be like, wow, what just happened?
Really. People a lot of times will find feathers in the strangest places also, weird places, finding little white feathers or whatnot.
Okay.
Hold on. Was there like one of you, I think, when you were younger, had a mechanical piggy bank?
I did.
Yeah, I did not.
Okay.
You
And
did?
was this?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I'm seeing that where you put a coin in it, or you put it in the hand, and it moves.
Yep.
It drops it in.
Yeah, I had one of those.
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. And your grandfather's actually showing me this.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
And I don't know if it's you or him, but one of you had a habit of having food while you're eating. You drip food on your face or on your clothes.
My grandfather always did that.
Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
I'm
So,
not.
you got mustard on your shirt. You got ketchup. You got it on your face. Or
Yeah.
yeah.
You have a gift, sir.
Yes,
wow.
definitely.
He just wants you to know he is very proud of you. He
That's-
sends a lot of love to you, and he's very proud of you.
That's very cool. Thank you. Yeah, he's very missed.
Yeah, and he hears you every single time you talk to him. He goes, even when you don't think that I'm not listening to you, I'm listening to you. So watch what you say.
Okay. I will.
Wow. Two questions I want to ask before we close out.
Listen, now
yeah.
before you speak, you're going to have to break something to undo something to get what you want. So in other words, I'm giving you an example. Suppose there's a piece of glass and it's wedged in as something, but there's something underneath the glass, or I'm just giving you an example, but it's like you can't get to it. And the only way you're going to get to something is by breaking off of something so you can get to what it is that you need.
Okay.
And you'll let me know when that happens.
Oh, I'm going to both times. Yeah.
And you're going to call me and tell me too.
I'm a believer.
Oh, I am
this
too.
Is very.
I am too. I totally believe in what Artie does. I totally
Yeah,
do.
he's like the monkeys. And I'm a believer.
Really? I mean, I believed before we started this conversation, but now I'm
Yeah.
a little weird.
Can I have an amen? I believe.
Amen.
Amen. Yes.
Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Thank you.
Speaking of Jesus, a couple weeks ago we had Scott Valentine on. He was an actor on Family Ties, and he had an experience where he was hit by a truck and he literally died. He said he watched himself rise, like shoot out of his body, and like they were working on him, and I don't know if you remember. I don't remember if he said he had the decision to pop back in or not.
did.
But as soon as they did the paddles, it was like he just whipped right back into his body. So that leads me to my question of, because I've been thinking about that story in particular a lot lately. Our understanding of life after death is obviously the biggest mystery ever, and we're not going to find out until we're gone. But you might be the clearest thing to telling us that there really is life after death.
There 100% is life after death. Let me explain this to you. Right now, when people die, they really don't die. Nobody ever dies. Nobody dies. Nobody does. My parents aren't here anymore, but they're not dead. I'll give you an example. What I mean by that. Your soul and spirit is who you are. Mm-hmm. That's who we are. Your soul and spirit. You're not of your body. Your body right now, your head, your hands, that is not you. Your soul and spirit is expressing itself using this body that you're in right now. So what dies is the body. So when your grandfather passed away, it wasn't your grandfather that passed away. It was the body that finally gave way. And so the spirit and the soul of your grandfather lifted up out of the body and just took on into a different dimension, which is more beautiful than here. Hello. And so your grandfather's still alive. And that's why I'm able to tell you what I told you about him, because he was feeding me all the messages in my thoughts. It's not like I'm just reading your minds. I'm not a mind reader. A psychic is somebody who could predict the past, present, and future, and a medium is somebody who could communicate to the deceased and communicates to angels. That's what a medium is. And a psychic, predicts past, present, and future and can tell you the outcomes of situations. A mind reader is a mentalist who could read people's minds and manipulate energy to do certain things.
Okay.
My last question I want to ask is, have you ever, I mean, and I don't even know if you can do this for fun, but have you channeled celebrities, even ones that maybe have passed too soon?
Whitney Houston, I did. Somebody came to me and I got messages in regards to this person personally and Whitney Houston.
Wow.
So, yeah. And, as far as reading for famous people who are alive,
yeah.
I read for Mike Marino, who is a very famous comedian. Go to his YouTube, Mike Marino. Funny as hell. You will laugh your ass off. And I'm not just saying that. You will laugh your ass off. He's a very funny guy. I also did a reading for The Sopranos for a few of the main characters of The Sopranos.
Fun.
Wow.
No, so it was pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I read for Lucille Ball's granddaughter.
Oh, really?
I connected to her daughter, and that was a really, really cool experience. All of them are cool experiences.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So it's, like I said, it's just great to be able to give people information and to connect to people's loved ones. It's just so cool. It really is. Thank you, God, for this beautiful blessing, So like I said, it's really cool that I didn't have to go to college and have all these loans. I just became a psychic therapist. And how do I get accountability to be classified as a therapist? After you read thousands of people, that kind of classifies you.
Yeah.
All that through experience, nothing beats experience for knowledge, So there's book smart. You could read about anything. It's like if you want to read about being a good swimmer, it's about you having to get in the water and actually build up your muscles. And to do it, you have to do it if you want to become good at whatever it is you're doing. You could read all you want, but if you're not practicing it or doing it, then you'll have knowledge, but you're not going to you can't become really good at it just by book smart. You have to physically do it. You have to put it to the test.
Hey, Artie, I got a real quick question for you. Your book that you have out, Angels and Answers.
Yeah.
I promise you it's going to make a big difference in your life. One of the biggest compliments that I get in my life, because I put my heart and soul into this book, and it was my ex-girlfriend who saw some of my information and says, Art, you got to make this into a book. You have to do this. And it was because of her that I created that book. And it was my friend Valentina who says, Art, they loved your book so much, you need to write another book. There was not enough information. You got to write more information. People want more. So she says, I'll write it. I'll help you write. You just write the story and then I'll put it on. I'll help you write it. Mm-hmm. So I wrote it, everything, and then she made it look professional. She didn't change my words. She made everything professional. And now it's about to be published. And so I would say the biggest compliment that I got in my career, one of my biggest compliments, is when people have said to me, Art, I loved your book so much that I bought 5 copies or I bought 10 copies and I just gave them as gifts to my friends and family. It's like, and then I have other people who say, I have to read a passage in your book every single day before I go to bed. It's so beautiful. So, like I said, I'm so humbled. I'm lucky. I'm lucky to be in this position.
And it's a very special gift that you have, and it's very cool that you're able to use it.
Yeah, and I have fun with it. Like I said, I'm going to have fun with it. I'm hoping to get a TV show one day and do that thing that I do and do it Artie style.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Because with your wit and comedy and your quick answers.
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Be a great one.
I'd watch that.
Yeah, for sure.
You'll see one day you're going to say, yeah, I had Artie on my show.
That's right.
I'm already going to say that.
I know, me too.
Thank you so much, Artie. We appreciate your time.
Yeah.
No, it was my pleasure. I just wanted everyone to know that if they want to, get a hold of me for a private reading, or if they want to book an Artie party, or if they want, I also do fundraisers. Just go to my website, artiehoffman.com, ARTIEHOFFMAN.com. You can email me, artiehoffman@gmail.com, or you could call me or text me at 732-778-7173, and I'll repeat it, 732-778-7173. And like I said, whether it be in person in Jersey or over the phone or Skype, I am at your service. The Jew with a clue.
Well, I definitely want to check out his Sunday night, his Sunday Night Live. So,
yeah, check it out. You'll see. It's a really cool show, and I have my assistant Mona Lisa with me, and she reads all the questions that people send in. She reads the questions, and then when she reads the question, because I get so many questions within the show.
I can believe
so
that.
she'll randomly pick a question, and I just look at the camera. So when she tells me, hey, Art, my grandmother Mary passed away. Does she have anything to say to me? And then all of a sudden I'll zero in and boom, you'll see the answers that come through. And then people respond like, oh my God, oh my God. Mm-hmm. And then I go, oh my God, oh my God.
Wow.
That is so cool.
Very cool.
Yeah. So Angels and Answers, Facebook live show every Sunday night, 8 p.m. Eastern time. Join the Artie party. It's really cool.
And
Thank you so much for having me on your show.
Look for your new book, which is called
Have Your Angels Call My Angels.
Perfect.
Yep. I'm looking forward to that one too.
Our thanks to Artie Hoffman for being on the show this week. Now, Tracy made a shocking revelation to me during the break of us filming the interview and now. What was that?
Revelation.
Okay. You found a penny on the ground.
Oh, no, a dime.
Whatever.
Yes.
All right, so let's start over.
Okay.
Our thanks to Artie Hoffman for being on the show this week. A lot of shocking things. I have a trip coming up this weekend, and I'm very nervous actually now about traveling because I don't want to witness an accident. I will definitely help somebody if they need it, but I don't want to. I hope I'm not put in that situation. I don't want to see that.
Well, it was weird because I thought he was saying it to me because he hadn't pinpointed who it was yet.
Right, yep.
And I've already done stuff like that because I'm a former firefighter.
Right.
So
right.
I was like, wait, is he talking about something's going to happen now? And then I said, which one of us? And he's like, you. And I'm like, oh.
Yeah, me, right. But you had a shocking revelation between the stopping of our interview and us taping this segment. You told me something pretty weird.
Yeah, I found a dime on the ground yesterday when I was cleaning off my vehicle before I was leaving my house. And it was outside on the sidewalk by my driveway.
I have to tell you, he's not kidding. I really believe that you would not just tell me that story to verify Artie's claim.
Yeah, it was kind of weird. And after Artie said that, I'm like, it instantly popped into my head that I found this dime.
That is so weird.
Yeah.
Now, Artie's not our typical guest because, he's not on television much or, in the spotlight every day like some of our actor people are. But the type of interview that I thought we could get out of him is exactly what we got. Like, it was a lot of revelations and a lot of... it's a curiosity for me, I mean, I want to know what happens when I die. I just don't want to happen. I don't want to know soon.
And if you didn't believe in that type of thing after hearing him talk and the stuff that he's going through, I don't know how you couldn't.
Right. I don't know. So check him out, Artie Hoffman. All of his contact information and websites and all that is in the show description. So click on those links and book a session for yourself. Artie's the real deal.
Yeah, he's got he's got a gift. That's all I'm going to say.
Absolutely.
It's unbelievable.
Follow us on social media, Instagram at Fancounters Live, email us at hello@fancounters.com, and subscribe on YouTube if you want to see the videos of this podcast. And who wouldn't? Go to YouTube, search Fancounters Podcast, and subscribe. Anything else from you?
Subscribe.
Bam.
There we go.
Okay. We'll see you next week with another celebrity guest on the Fancounters Celebrity Podcast.
See ya.